Hey guys, today we'll do a quick intro to the C language. So let's do the Hello World program first, and then we'll go into a little bit more, so hopefully you can get started like doing some interesting stuff with C. So for the Hello World program, we'll need print, which will be the command that tells C to print something out in the terminal. Let's type hello world, and after any command we put in C, we'll need a semicolon. And now to actually for the C language to actually look at the command and say that, yeah, I need to do that, you need to tell it to actually look at that command and execute it. So to tell it, for now, just remember that you'll want a function, and it'll be called int main, then parentheses, open close parentheses, then open curly braces, and after your command close the curly braces. And this is how you tell C to execute a specific command. Now C doesn't know right off the bat what print is, what it's supposed to do, so we need to include code that will tell it what it's supposed to do. For that, we put in a hashtag include, and then inside, I don't know, what do you call those, angled parentheses, angled braces, brackets, I don't know. In here we'll tell it to include stdio.h, and that will be our code or our library that will tell it what print does. So now let's see if we can run this. It runs perfectly, or actually compiles. So first what we did here is we put in GCC, which is a compiler. So a compiler basically converts the C code into machine language that we can then run. So it converted it to a machine language and outputted it into a file called a.out. We can run that and we get hello world. Now this does not go on the second line because we do not have a new line character in the end here. We can put that in \n. We compiled one more time, run it, and we got it working. Now let's say we want to get user input. For that we can use what was it? I believe so. The command that can get us user input, I believe, is called fgets. Yep. Parentheses, semicolon, and we'll need to tell it a variable, or in other words, something where it's gonna store the input. So where it's gonna store the input, or a variable, we'll call it C, and then type in size of C. So C comma size of C comma stdin. And before we can use that variable, the C variable, we need to initialize it. And to initialize a variable, we first tell C the type of the variable. So in C, the variable right now, it'll have a type of char, so like character, I guess. I think that's what it would stand for. So char C, and we'll tell it the size of it. So let's do, I don't know, 30. semicolon, and 30 basically says, okay, we're gonna have like 30 characters or spots for characters available, and one of them at the very end is going to be a spot that we cannot take actually. So like the 30th spot is going to be I think it's called like a basically a 0 character. It's always taken, you cannot use it. So right now really we have 29 spots. At least I believe that's how it is. It should be. Actually, let's check it. Let's see. Where was it? It was around somewhere. There we go. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Yeah. So here they initialize the variable greeting with a size of 6, so it has 6 spots total, and the last one has to be taken with a what is it called? With a null character. So yeah, the 30th place here will be taken by a null character, and then we have 29 spots left. So we initialize the variable, we read it in, and then here we can say hello, and then we can say that we want to display that variable. So here we say this percent tells the function that we want to print out a variable, and the s tells it that the type of the variable is a string, or basically words, characters, and then comma, and we tell it what variable we want to print out. So let's see if this works, if this compiles. It compiles, and Alex, let's do this. Hello Alex. There we go. Now let's say if I put in, I don't know, if I put in Noah, or yeah, if I put in Noah instead, I wanted to say hi Noah instead of hello. So for that I'll need to use an if statement, which is basically if a condition is true, do that, otherwise do something else. So right now we'll tell it if, then in parentheses we put in a condition. So to compare strings, I believe there is a specific yeah, so we need to include another library or code, string.h. Let's include that as well, and we'll need to use to compare strings. Let's see, return 0 if s and 1 are the same, less than 0 if, oh, that's interesting. So I believe that would be something like this, string compare. Let's see. So we'll need to put string compare here, and we need to compare C to, let's say, Noah, and we save that to an int, an integer variable, and we'll call it compare, and we call that variable compare, and the equal sign assigns what this function returns to us. So it should return as 0. So if compare, and then to actually compare two variables, we'll want to use two equal signs. So compare. So if compare equals 0, print hi. Then we say that's a string, new line, and this, the variable semicolon, and here we can say else. So otherwise, print this and close. So if compare gets us 0, so string compare C to Noah, and from here we know that string compare returns 0 if both S and S2, so S1 and S2 are the same. So hopefully this should work. Let's see. Nice. So we compiled it. Run this. Alex returns hello Alex. Noah, hello Noah. So it doesn't actually compare it. That's interesting. Noah. Nope. So we don't know why it does that. So let's actually debug. So here we can do print out, and let's say we want to print out that variable, which is a string type, and the C variable. So let's see. Oh no, actually that's going to be an integer type, so I, and compare, just to see what it actually is, what it prints out. Noah prints out 10. Or 10. Let's put in the new line character. 19. What if we say 5? Noah. 0. Hi Noah. There we go. So the size also needs to be the same. The size of the strings. Huh. I wonder if it's possible to compare. What if we don't put in a point? What if we don't assign it, just do it like this? Oh no, it doesn't like it. Let's do... Ooh. What if we put 4 or 5 here, and then we put 30 here? I wonder if that will work. Noah. Hi Noah. Alex. Hello Alex. Oh, that's cool. VBS. Oh, that's funny. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of playing around with my own program. I'm still learning all this stuff. Fgets, so it takes in this variable, and this tells it how much of that variable to take in. So we tell it 5. Let's remember that one character is occupied by the null character, so we get actually 4, and it prints out VFBS. But I mean, the main part of the program works, so if we delete that, compile it again, put in Noah, it says hi Noah, put in Alex, says hello Alex. So that works. Actually, I wonder if it would, so it is sensitive, uppercase, lowercase. It is sensitive to that. Well, there you go. There's, we've got a bit farther than a hello world program. We did an if statement, and I think this will be it for this video. Thank you guys a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.